Indians being able to feed themselves. If a country like India, like China, can produce what they eat, we should be able to produce what we eat.
Absolutely.
Yes, we have enough arable land in our country.
And speaking of the man of the
we
moment,
should be able to do quality agri production.
Absolutely.
In our country.
Right. Speaking of the man of the moment, we have the governor
Well,
himself walking in on set. Good morning.
Your Excellency, good morning to you. Good morning.
It's good to have you
Welcome,
join
Your
us.
Excellency.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Governor.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
Namesake.
Happy New Year. Good to see you again.
Same here. Same here. Hi, how are you?
Very well.
Good,
We've just
good,
been
good.
talking about all of the things happening in Lagos and how you have been ensuring the transformation that you have promised for Lagos State so far. And we've been having that conversation with your namesake, because he had a conversation with you sometime last year. And so he was feeding us of some of those things that you discussed at that point. But let's begin with you now that you're here. So let's hear from you directly.
Well, I mean, thank you very much. And I want to say Happy New Year to all of you. Thank you very much for having me. You've got a wonderful space here, I must say.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
This is the real Lagos. You know, you've probably just shown, you know, that there's possibility if you put your mind to it. You know,
Absolutely.
coming into your own premises here this morning.
And then you walk straight onto the set.
It speaks volumes. It speaks,
Absolutely.
you know, what the new Lagos looks like, what 2025 now also will look like. You know, so it seems to me that TVC is in tandem with Lagos State, because this is our own aspiration. It's really for us to use all of the learnings and all of the issues of 2024, right, to shape our 2025. You know, in governance, in how we prepare, you know, for the citizens, in how we give them opportunity, in how we're able to use the toughness, you know, of 2024, you know, the resilience, the very hard economic, you know, reality that we needed to face as a nation, as a subnational, right? But to be able to transit it properly, you know, into the new year and be able to tap into the benefit of it. And what do I mean? I'm sure you've been talking about all of the things that happened, you know, last year towards the end of it, all of the activity, Lagos being economic, you know, capital of the country, which we know, but more now being the entertainment, you know, capital, clearly shows that it's the diasporan population, not only from Nigeria, but the whole of, sub-Saharan Africa.
And that's a fine place to begin this conversation.
Thank you.
Talking about, we know the lingo, Dirty December, as it is. Last year, we saw a lot of persons, the inflow of traffic, especially those we call IJGB, those who just returned, and how they said they had fun in Lagos, as against some other states that we used to know. So we're looking at how the state intends to harness these opportunities to ensure that it boosts the internally generated revenue moving forward, since we are learning from what has happened from previous years.
Well, I mean, yes, you're right. So for us, it's really not about just the revenue. It's about the social economic development that it will bring about the citizen. It's for us to be able to calendarize for everybody. When I say everybody, the local population, the diaspora population, international audience, to be able to plan, predict, and be able to say to themselves that from October, these are the calendarized events, activities that will be happening in Lagos, Nigeria. In November, these are the activities that I'm interested in fashion, in arts, in creative industry, in digital economy, in book fair, you know, in regattas, in masquerade events. Then you see the entertainment shows and rest of it. You know, so that people now will plan, right? Once you have it properly planned out, then people can make, you know, all of their travel arrangements. They can make all of their booking arrangements. Then we also need to now stimulate that with investment. How well do we get the private sector to make more investment into real estate, especially into the hospitality business? You know, more restaurants, more hotel accommodation, more B&B, you know, conversions to accommodate. How well also do we now prepare the city for security, for safety, for public transportation, you know, for us to be able to have a seamless movement of people in and out of it. When we do all of that, what you would see, which happens in other parts of the world, is that You can have an economy that will be on for 6 weeks, and that economy will keep that company for the next 12 months. What do I mean? There are parts of the world where during summer, they open for 3 months, for 2 months, and the proceeds, the sales they make during that time is enough for the next 9 months. Those are the kind of things that we can, so that it will generate a lot more, employment. You could get 50 to 100,000 new employees that they would have, a sustainable means for 2-3 months, and it will be sufficiently, grounded enough to keep them for another 6-8 months. And that's the kind of, jigsaw that we need to put together. We don't know it all. So what we're thinking through is this month we'll be setting up different levels of committee with the private sector, with government agencies, with operators, professionals in all of the verticals that I've mentioned. And we all develop a calendarized work plan that we all identify who does what, who increases what, and where does government feed into all of it. Ours is to be an enabler. Ours is to be able to provide the opportunity for the private sector to thrive, to grow, to do their businesses. We just want to create that enabling environment and push back. And that's the plan that we have.
So let's talk about the primacy of revenue from taxation. Lagos has shown that there is tremendous opportunity in that area. Even during the First Republic, the action group government of Obafemi Awolowo made a lot of money, not just from cash crops, but from taxation. We are hearing now that the tax reform bill, the governors do not want that tax reform bill to see the light of the day. And we just read today that governors actually didn't agree to meet the tax committee. What is the state of things with regards to the tax reform bill from the viewpoint of you governors?
Well, I mean, that's not a completely correct situation. The first issue was that a lot of my colleagues, rightly so, were not fully aware to the extent of what that reform, will be the tax bill. Yes. But in the last couple of months, everybody has schooled themselves. Everybody has taken time to understand, to digest, to get expert advice, on it. And I want to state to you, clearly looking at state, a lot of the governors are now convinced. People have been educated. We've seen that it's an opportunity for us to have revenue, a lot more revenue, be able to track, and trap where, defaulters are, and be able to bring everybody on board. So you will see increase in revenue across, the entire 3 tiers of government, at the federal, the subnational, there will be. And that's the kind of thing we'll see. And there will be a fairer distribution, of it, where equity will also come to bear. But we'll also be aware of even areas where they are not as economically viable. And I think these are some of the things, right, that the bill is. I have taken time to listen, to read, to be schooled, to be educated, and I think that's what has happened to a lot of us, So I will not say that the governors are not. Initially it was hit on everyone. It was a lot for people to digest at once.
Right.
But a lot of people have taken time to understand it, and I believe that a significant number of us are completely, bought into it. We believe that these reforms are important. We believe that at the end of the day, it will be a win-win for everybody. It was first asserted that Lagos State was going to get everything, which is not true. In fact, at the beginning of it, Lagos State even gets a headquarters.
Right.
But over time, once you're able to track and trap and have a better, enhancement in terms of how the penetration is, everybody by extension, get something better. And what we should all now be striving for is that how well do we now transform that into improving the life of our people?
Absolutely.
How do we transform that?
I want to hear from you, having read the bills.
Yeah.
Is there anything, just tell us now, as a honest Nigerian, is there anything that suggests that is anti-North, for example? Because that's the argument.
No, but so like I said, we shouldn't put emotion, to things. There will be 1 or 2 language or suggestion that reflect that. But if you truly, really deep dive into it, there's nothing like that. I believe, quite frankly, that it's a national, plan. It will be fair to everybody, right? Initially, everything that is new, there will be sexism, there will be some issue around. We're not sure, that will it be fair to us? But I believe those are the intentions. Let's see what has happened in the course of 2024. Today, foreign currency is wrapping up. I heard that yesterday people were actually buying money at less than 1,500. Things are beginning to double up. You're beginning to see some bit of stability, right? So, like I keep saying, that benefit, we should be able to push it down to our citizens. We should be able to push it down to the social economic benefit of our people, right? And it's not a time where anybody can give up now. We've sort of like built up enough so that the benefit that will be accruing, we all need to position, so that we can take, driving even in here now, I've seen a lot of opportunity even in the real estate space. So we've talked about the opportunity. Our currency was able to attract a lot more people, because it will seem to them, right, they're bringing $1,000 and it actually is a lot more naira. Yeah. But hey, the naira is here, the dollar is here. Right. You can't take it anywhere again. And that's the benefit of it.
Right.
So what you think you've lost on one, you get a full benefit of it.
Interesting. I'm talking about